Hello and welcome to Dims's Domain. This is my Yugioh Vrains episode 61 review, and I'll be straight up right now. My thoughts will not most probably resonate with most of your thoughts because I felt a sense of nostalgia from this episode, and you're probably thinking, hey, what kind of nostalgia can you feel from this episode? You barely know the characters. Two reasons. The first and the main reason is the fact that there was a zombie deck in play, and it really did feel actually both decks, zombie as well as the warrior, it felt like it was the old school structure decks that came out in 2008, I can't even remember, but it was a zombie world deck versus the warrior deck where we saw the equipped spell card deck against the zombie deck. And I've been playing zombies from day one. I'm still playing it right now. Before, I used to play the 60 card Shionui version, but unfortunately Grass Looks Greener has been banned in the TCG, and now currently I'm running the Vendread deck, which I think is quite good, but I'm going to make it work and try to make it tier 0. However, that's me rambling and bambling on about my Yu-Gi-Oh escapades. That's the nostalgia I felt from that episode. The second form of nostalgia was the fact that as much as I didn't like Takeru in his alt form, in his form whereby he looks a bit cool and a bit edgy, I think that what they're trying to do here, they're not trying to make him look like this gangster, like this cool edgy guy. In fact, they're making him look like some sort of artificial shell, and it felt very reminiscent of many shows I've seen, as well as many characters and people that I know as well. It feels like you can tell very evidently that Takeru is regressing, he is hiding his trauma, he's completely pushed in the back of his head so that he can forget about the incident, the lost incident, to the point where he doesn't even know what dueling is. Well, the word duel is somewhat alien to him. And okay, let's talk about the episode itself. Essentially, we saw how Blood Shepherd has captured Soulburner in this whatever portal, and as Playmaker's trying to save him, they're trying to look for a way to open up this portal. Kusanagi said it's going to be a bit difficult. Now, I'm really liking the camaraderie between Kusanagi and Yusaku. Now you're thinking to yourself, wait, have they been friends from day one, mate? They've been partners from day one. Correct. However, it's very, you know what, it's very rare for Playmaker to actually acknowledge Kusanagi as his friend. Although we know he trusts him, but Playmaker doesn't say it out loud enough how much he trusts Kusanagi, how much he relies on Kusanagi, and how much of a friend Kusanagi is. So it's very nice to see how Yusaku is actually relying and trying to, he's really leaning on Kusanagi for his help. Now, as Yusaku is circling around, you see the two bounty hunters that were accompanying Go Onizuka, and they're obviously going to engage Playmaker in a duel. And that's pretty much it. Then we move on to Takeru. We move on to Soulburner, and 90% of the whole episode is Blood Shepherd delving into the memories of Soulburner, and it was an origin story for Soulburner, and it was done really well, really well. And one of the most interesting things is that although 90% of the episode was dedicated to Soulburner and this story, they didn't just focus on Soulburner, they focused a lot on the other side characters, which really shouldn't matter at all, on the girl, on the other bullies, and these little that snot-nosed brat who at the end started challenging and was dueling Soulburner, and also Flame, and the way Flame came into existence, not existence, but was able to contact Takeru. So I think that the way that was executed was done perfectly. One of the nitpicks, which I've had it from when we first saw the old Takeru, is that yes, we know he was a different person, but do we really need such a drastic stylistic change for that to hit home? I don't think we do. I think we kind of understand it. I think the hair should have been somewhat similar. Maybe the dress sense, the clothing is different, yeah. Although we've only seen him in school uniform outside of Link Vrains, or maybe I'm wrong. But I think they're trying a bit too hard to make him look edgy. However, I don't think that he does look super edgy. Initially, from the previous episodes and probably the first couple of minutes on this episode, I was thinking, oh my god, they're trying to make him look like this little gangster, this little cool dude. But actually, no. No. What they were doing in this episode was they're trying to hit home the fact that this Takeru that we are seeing in the flashbacks is not the same Takeru as he is now. Of course he's not. And also the Takeru that he's truly meant to be. That was a shell. That was a mask. It was a fake. Obviously, it's Takeru's way of dealing with the incident from 10 years ago. He regressed it. He regressed the incident completely deep inside his memories to the point where even the word duel is alien to him. Another thing is, I've always thought, I thought Link Vrains was such a global phenomena. What's going on? But they kind of put some subtle, very smart, very intelligent dialogue lines and points throughout the episode to kind of give us an idea of the scope of Link Vrains. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that we know that the only way to access Link Vrains is through Den City. And from Den City and from Link Vrains is then broadcasted throughout the net. And that, of course, gives a global reach. But the point is that you need to be in Den City in order to be a star, or in order to access Link Vrains, which allows us to believe this local / global scope and reach from Link Vrains and from the Charisma Duelist. So that was very well done. Instead of me questioning, hey, why don't anyone just log into Link Vrains from anywhere in the world? So it's very nice that they kind of reminded us of that, because of course they did tell us in the first couple of episodes or couple of minutes of the series itself. So it's a very nice refresher 61 episodes into the series. Now let's talk about the duel itself. Why did I mark out? I absolutely loved it. I love zombies. I've been playing it for... I've said that already. But essentially, I saw zombies being played and I really started to pay attention. I was like, oh, okay, Plague Wolf, okay. And then there's a new field spell, which is Edge of Darkness. Are they going to release that in the new structure deck, the new zombie structure deck? Because if they do, that's kind of an underwhelming effect, to be honest. However, I still don't mind it. I think it is genius. It's like as if they were hinting to us, hey, listen, we're gonna do the zombie world, rebooted the undead world R structure deck, and maybe the next one is gonna be the warrior structure deck. So it's very nice to see that, and also surprising to see that Soulburner is not using the Salomon Great deck. Instead, he's using a cookie cutter warrior deck. And that was, once again, surprising. It put this level of interest, which I truly would not have had for the duel, by just introducing such factors. And these factors, although we know what the outcome is going to be, because it is a flashback, and he wasn't a minion of the guy. And that's the thing. Some of the lines are so quirky and only in anime. If you lose this duel, you become my minion. Really, it's fantastic. It makes you chuckle and it makes you really, really smile. And I like smiling. Smiling is better than frowning, I guess. One of the things I have to talk about is when it started off with the initial Takeru he's having a little headache. He's having what it seems like an episode of PTSD, and he's remembering this dark, shadowy figure. Now. This is where I truly marked out. I was like, oi. So I was like initially thinking, oh, this is the Ignis that attacked Link Vrains. Oh, sorry, this is the thing that attacked Link Vrains. Oh my god, yeah, man, I want to make a video on this. I think I've cracked it. But then I'm like, no, look at his hands. Look at the shape. Look at the mouth. I know that card. I know that monster. I knew instantly it was Despair from the Dark. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And the whole name, Despair from the Dark, it just makes so much sense, because the victims of the lost incident are enshrouded and they're trapped in their darkness, and they need to find a way to kick out, find a way to survive and somewhat get out of the darkness. So seeing Despair from the Dark was so cool. And as much as I try to avoid spoilers, unfortunately one slipped through the net and I saw there was an episode, maybe I'm wrong, called Fear from the Dark. So I was thinking, okay, are they going to introduce Fear from the Dark? Or, because that looks at Despair from the Dark, the level 8, 2800 attack, 3000 defense, which still doesn't make sense for most zombies to have such a high defense. But I digress. When I saw Despair from the Dark, I was really, really happy. And when he eventually summoned Despair from the Dark, I was like, oh my god. And the way they showcased Takeru's reaction was pitch perfect. It was written perfectly. Why? Because that is exactly how someone who is suffering from severe PTSD could react. That is exactly the reactions you can expect from someone with such a strong ingrained trauma, especially from 10 years ago. Before I do move on, I do want to quickly mention the grandpa and the grandma, and once again to give a refresher about what happened to Takeru's parents, and it made us feel so sympathetic of the character. It really did make me feel sympathetic for the character. I can't really speak for you guys, but I thought, oh my god, I know you're faking it, mate. I know you need help. I know you're sad. How are you going to resolve this? And it seems that dueling will eventually be the resolution that is going to help him from his darkness and escape from the darkness, from the edge of darkness. The grandfather is it seems like a dojo master. No, maybe not. Or maybe he just practices his little, I don't know what it's called. Let's just say sparring. And he did say, and he did come across quite harsh initially when he was training him, saying, oh, listen, get over it, blah, blah, blah. But he mentioned the fact that he had the opportunity to turn the tides, but he chose not to. And then his grandma said, Takeru is too nice. So one of the things that he's missing is that killer instinct. And actually, he has that killer instinct from the present day Soulburner that we have been introduced to. However, he still maintains that very nice aura, that nice guy Soulburner that we've also come to learn. So obviously I expect a victory for Soulburner during this duel, but what I must say and what I must commend and actually highlight is the fact that the way this episode was written, the story really did flow very, very, very well and very fluid. And I think that it's making us slowly, for those who didn't like Soulburner, I'm hoping it made you guys slowly start to look at Soulburner in a different light. Now, for those of you who like Soulburner, I'm sure it reinforced your like for Soulburner. And for those of you who are on the edge, like myself, I want to see Soulburner not get the playmaker treatment, because the truth is he's not playmaker. I don't want him to win every single game. Obviously, he's going to win against this flashback guy, but is he gonna do Blood Shepherd, and is he gonna lose? Because the truth is, Blood Shepherd he's been built quite well. I'm saying quite well because he did lose to Playmaker, which kind of halted his momentum. They didn't need that duel. They could have interrupted that duel. But Blood Shepherd is once again rebuilding his credibility, and he is a really serious threat. So hopefully, if they do eventually do, I don't want it, but it needs to be done. Soulburner needs to lose, man. He needs to lose. And I that's just my thoughts on the future projection of the way the episodes should pan out from this episode. Now, from this episode, it was a very well written episode, a very well paced episode, and it was also an episode which gave us a different flavor, a different theme, a different feel to it. It didn't feel edgy, it didn't feel spooky. It felt like we're watching this guy's past being retold. And at the same time, it didn't cut to the present and back to the past. No, it stayed in the past. When it cut to the past, it stayed in the past. I like that. It felt very retrospective, yet very active for us as the viewer. I felt very involved when I shouldn't really be involved at all. I can't really explain it, but that's the only way where I feel comfortable enough to actually phrase it. Anyway, guys, I do want to say, if you guys want to look out for more of my videos, please make sure to subscribe and press that notification bell. And for those of you hardcore guys who have actually stayed for this long, there's a few friends in the community, such as Yugioh Everything. So I know he's gone through a tough time, so please, if you can, go to his channel on his videos and just leave something nice. You know what? Leave something nice to anyone, but especially for Dylan. Just leave something nice and just say, look, hey man, how are you? Because the truth is, if we are going to prosper and if we are going to just move forward with just being happy, we have to also showcase positivity towards other people. So I don't want to dwell too much on it. Just do it. Just be a nice person and just... And also, I'm sure if you're subscribed to me or you're watching a Yu-Gi-Oh video, you're also subscribed to him. Another thing is that I have two massive, absolutely massive videos which have been edited. I'm just looking right now when and how I should post them, because the truth is, I think a lot of you guys are gonna go quite nuts from what I'm gonna post soon. So hopefully please make sure to stay tuned for that. Check out my other theory videos and check them out. I've blabbered on far too long. Please make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. You may now exit Dimsy's domain. Thank you.